Welcome to Divorce Mortgage Strategies, brought to you by the Divorce Lending Association, where clarity meets strategy in the financial side of divorce. Whether you're a family law professional, a financial expert, or someone navigating the complexities of divorce yourself, this podcast is your go-to resource for trusted insight into how real property and mortgage financing intersect with divorce outcomes. We don't just talk about houses. We talk about strategic solutions that protect futures. Let's dive in. Today, we welcome host, certified divorce lending professional Stacey Ellison, and her guest, certified divorce coach Kimberly Laura.
Good afternoon. I'm Stacey Ellison, a certified divorce lending professional and divorce mortgage planner, and I am thrilled to be hosting today's episode on the Divorce Lending Association podcast. My guest today is Kimberly Laura. Kimberly is a divorce coach who I've had the pleasure of knowing and working with over the last 2.5-ish years. She's an amazing woman, and I love her approach to helping divorcing clients. Hi, Kim. How are you?
Hello. Thank you so much, Stacey. I'm so happy to be here. So, as you said, I am a licensed professional counselor and certified divorce coach, and I am the founder of Blossom Coaching, and I'm located in Asbury Park, New Jersey. My work focuses on helping individuals navigate the emotional and practical challenges of divorce with clarity, confidence, and courage. And together we work on healing the hurt and finding the strength so that they can move forward grounded and with a sense of peace, certainty, and renewed strength. My background is in mental health, and I've worked as a therapist for over 25 years. But after going through my own divorce, I realized how much was missing in the traditional process. Divorce is not just a legal or a financial event, it is a deeply emotional life transition. And it really impacts your sense of identity and safety and really your future. So, what inspired me to become a divorce coach was I really wanted to bridge that gap to support people not only with their emotional recovery, but also with the decision making and mindset shifts and help them rebuild and grow to a place where they were stronger than they were before.
I love that. And I love your approach. Now, do you work primarily with men or women or both? It doesn't matter. Who is
I work
your,
with,
your
yeah, thanks. I work with both men and women, and I work with them individually, and I also run group programs.
So how did you get started in divorce coaching?
Well, yeah, I'm a therapist. So when I went through my own divorce from 2016 to 2018, that was after a 23-year marriage. It's very strange to be a therapist and feel like you are going through your own temporary insanity because on one hand, you're helping people with their own emotional health, and on the other hand, when I was going through my divorce, I really felt like I said, this temporary insanity, and I use that phrase often. And what I realized is that there weren't many supports for people who were in the chaos of divorce, where there's a beginning and there's an ending. And I needed to fill that gap. I wanted to become the person that I needed when I was going through my divorce. So I became a certified divorce coach in addition to my therapeutic practice. And that's what I do now. Now I work exclusively with people going through divorce.
That's amazing. All right. Now, I know each divorce is unique, as you know also, and everyone involved goes on their unique journey through the process. If you could change anything or give any kinds of heads up advice to someone who's just starting down the path, what would that be?
Yeah, so I think the first thing is to take a breath. It's not something that you have to figure out all at once. Divorce can feel like a tornado, like emotionally and logistically, financially, there's all this chaos swirling around you. Clarity comes from slowing down and taking one intentional step at a time. I often remind my clients that divorce does not define you, it reveals you. And it's a time to really rediscover who you are and what kind of life you want to build next. It's really, really important to surround yourself with a team, legal team, financial, emotional. Work with divorce professionals that really see you as a whole person and not just a case file. So you really deserve individuals who are professionals who understand that this is not just about dividing assets, but it's really building a new foundation for your future.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, how do you help clients deal with the overwhelm that they're feeling
Yeah.
during divorce?
So really just again, like the one step at a time. There are so many things, there are so many decisions that need to be made. Really trying to work together with professionals or someone like me, a divorce coach, to come up with a clarity map and to really break things down into small bites so that you don't choke on all these big decisions that you have to make while you're also in one of the most emotionally challenging times of your life. So just little bites, little steps. And when you think you've broken something down into the smallest step possible, see if you could break it down even more.
Right? Make it manageable, right?
Make it absolutely manageable.
You're right. Well, that makes sense. If you're looking at the whole picture, it's so easy to get overwhelmed and just want to like stick your head in the pillowcase and go to
Yeah,
sleep. But
absolutely.
it's like, okay, I can do this one thing, and then I can do this
Yeah,
one thing, and then I can do this one thing. So I love
yeah.
that. How do you encourage when they're feeling overwhelmed, like, okay, this one little thing, is there an order that you try to keep them on track of what to address? Because obviously there are very important things that need to be addressed, and then there are the not so important things. So how do you keep clients focused on the important things when it would be easy to go off on a tangent on something that might need to be done, but might not be as high of a priority as custody, visitation, where you're going to live, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and those big decisions are really, custody, where you're going to live, are you going to keep the house? Those are the really big ones, right? So those are the most emotional ones. And it is easy to get something that we call decision fatigue, where you are just so overwhelmed with decisions. So, what I say to my clients is it's always important to make decisions with clarity and intentionality. So, intentionality is really, where do you see your life? And that's sometimes a really big ask for people who are in the middle of chaos. Like,
Mm-hmm.
who do you want to be? What's important to you? Where do you see yourself? What's going to be best for yourself and your family? And those questions might feel so overwhelming, but trying to get the emotions out of it and really see, well, I like living in a big city, or I always wanted to live a quieter life, or my house is really too big. This might be a good time to downsize, or, it's really important that my kids stay in their school district. Trying to figure out where their values are and where they see themselves in the future, and just coming back to that. What's in the best interest for you? What's in the best interest for your kids? What do you have control of? Coupled with what's most important to you. And it's that sweet spot in the middle that really helps with the decisions.
All right. How do you handle when you're working with a client who either when there's a difference of opinion between spouses and you're working with one of them where the other spouse either does want the divorce or doesn't want the divorce, and there's a bit of asymmetry between that? How do you coach your clients to get, get on the same page, and in what manner with the other spouse to move forward?
I mean, and that's so common because if we were all on the same page,
They
there
wouldn't be
probably
getting
wouldn't be
divorced,
divorces.
right?
Right. So that is something that's really common, just the differences of opinion. And again, if we are taking out as much of the emotions as possible and looking at it like as cold as it seems, this is the unraveling of a business contract, right? So there are decisions that have to be made. We have to figure out how to divide assets, how to divide debt, custody, spousal support, or alimony, and looking at these decisions without the emotion. So it doesn't really matter if one person wants it, one person doesn't. I mean, most of the time there is a dumper and there is a dumpy. So
Dumpy.
there's somebody leaving and somebody being left. And emotionally, they're on such different playing fields, on like a field. So the one person already has a head start because if they are the person leaving, they've already gone through a lot of the grief. They've already gone through a lot of the anger. They've already made that decision. So they're kind of, at a way different spot than somebody who's been blindsided and said, well, wait, I thought everything was okay. And I'm just trying to catch up and get in the starting gate, and the other person's already halfway around the track. So inherently, there's usually some kind of difference through at least the emotional process. But at the end of the day, doesn't really matter. If one person wants a divorce, you can't make
So
someone stay, nor would you want to.
true, true, very true. Alrighty, thank you for that. I find that many times after a mediation session or a meeting with attorney, emotions get heightened and it all comes bubbling up to the surface. So, how do you handle that situation in order to kind of bring them back to center and help them move forward so that they understand and can move into the next steps after those meetings that really create more chaos through the process?
And it's interesting because as I'm thinking about this question a little bit, it's very similar before the mediation or whatever big meeting you have. It's very similar to the talk that we have after. So it's really going back to what are your goals? What are your wants? What are your wishes? What are your needs? So finding that balance, what can I let go of? What can I negotiate? It's all back to what's important to me.
And what don't you
Um,
want to negotiate on and what you
what
can?
don't
Okay. And then what's one, let's say they had that meeting and their emotions are high and they're kind of digging their heels in, like that's something that you've discovered something that they want. It might not be something that they need, but what's one coaching move that could help unlock momentum in that case where someone's just digging their heels in, not necessarily because it's, they want what's might be best for them, but they just want it. And like what do you do with your clients to help them realize what they can let go of or what they should let go of and
right.
how they can keep the process moving forward in a way that will protect them emotionally and mentally?
And, there are a lot of reasons for people that are, sticking their heels in or having a hard time negotiating. A lot of it is the emotional stuff, right? They want revenge. Well, there's not really revenge in divorce. Nobody wins, nobody really loses. It's the dissolution of a marriage, of a contract. There's a lot of emotions with it, but the judges or the court system, they don't care about justice. So if you are trying to get justice by being stubborn or angry or uncooperative, it's not going to work. So really digging into those emotions, like what makes you so angry about this? Or why are you so hurt? Can we deal with your hurt in another way that is maybe not like, I'm not going to agree to this? A lot of times, the house is a big thing. So why is it important for you to keep the house? You know, and it could be fear of uprooting your kids. It could be that you want to keep your kids in the same school district. It could be all the memories that you've had in that home. And then we look at other alternatives. Like, so if you want to stay in the same school district, can we find a smaller house that's more manageable for you in that community so that you can keep the house? So really figuring out what's important to you and why that's making you stick or stay stuck. And can we let some of that go?
Right, right. That's got to be a hard process to go through for people, I'm sure. All right. This has been great. Thank you so much. Our time's just about up. So tell me, where can someone reach you if someone's looking to connect with you, learn more about you? Where do they go?
Sure. So my website is kimberlylauracoaching.com. And on there, you could learn about me, you could learn about my programs, and I also have a divorce recovery self-assessment test that
Ooh,
it's about 10 minutes and you can take it online and it asks you a series of about 100 questions and then the results come back and they tell you where you are emotionally in your divorce recovery process, what you've healed, what still needs to be worked on, your strengths, and then there are things that come to you. There's some emails that come to you that explain your results to you, and I also offer complimentary consultations. So anything you need to find out, KimberlyLauraCoaching.com.
oh, wonderful. And as we wrap up, do you have one final thought that you would like to leave us with today?
Yeah, so divorce is really hard, but if you have the right support and the right mindset, it can turn out to be one of the best things that could have happened to you. Just because your marriage has ended does not mean that your life is over.
That's so true. Well, thank you, Kim. I so
Thank,
appreciate your time, and thank you
yes,
so
thank
much for
you.
joining us. And we will see you soon.
I appreciate it so much. Thanks, Stacey.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on Divorce Mortgage Strategies, powered by the Divorce Lending Association. If today's conversation brought you clarity, insight, or inspiration, we encourage you to subscribe and share this episode with others in your circle. For more resources, or to connect with a certified divorce lending professional in your area, visit divorcelendingassociation.com. And be sure to download the free Divorce Strategy Hub mobile app for tools, education, and support designed to guide you through the financial side of divorce. Until next time, remember, in divorce, the mortgage isn't the problem, it's the plan.